What's
amazing.
funny is it's almost like it used to be the other way around. You talk about it now, like, hey, you and me from America, we see it, we're like, oh, wow, cool, you feel something, but it's not the same as the people there feeling like that changes their whole life, when in reality, the way this all started, when the New World came over there, it was the New World who looked at it like that, and then allegedly, I have to say allegedly, but allegedly you had these cities across South America that were built of nothing of gold. And the people, it was just a part of life. It's like, oh yeah, there's our gold, there's our El Dorado, right?
I mean, I think that whether it's, the Aztecs or the Incas, I think that gold was still very special. It was still reserved for the highest members of society. Sure. It was still prized, but
it was more omnipresent.
The way Europeans, but again, it was the same thing. The conquistadors got over there and they went, we have armor and we have swords, and they don't. And we could take their gold and go back to where we're from, and all of a sudden our lives get better. Let's just fucking kill everybody. Mm-hmm. And it's an accelerant. It bends the rules of reality. You can go from being, some lowly guy that they send out on a ship to go exploring to, you could go back and be the Count of Monte Cristo. I come back with a ship filled with gold. Yeah. And so what did you do? What did they do? It turned them insane. They turned into psycho killers and murdered everyone they saw. I mean, Columbus, I may get this wrong, but I remember reading some journal of Columbus where they literally touch, they see land and they come close, and the native people come out to meet them and they pull this guy up off this canoe, and Columbus is like, ask him where the gold is. And they're like, where's the gold? And the guy's like, I don't speak your fucking language. Like, what? And he's like, beat the shit out. And like, they're like destroying this guy in the first 5 seconds of meeting him.
So fucked up, dude.
And it's
the stories of that guy.
They're yelling at him in a language that he doesn't understand, asking him where the gold is. And he's like, what's that? You got to think he's a coastal, tropical person. Yeah. Maybe never saw gold. Maybe he's not an Inca king. It's like they're interrogating a guy for something they have no way of communicating. Like, it's madness. They just showed up and they were like, give it to us. Back to Independence Day. It's like when they said to the aliens, what do you want us to do? And they just go, die. It's like,
yeah, I mean,
what do you want? Gold.
It's like it's the symbol of conquering, right?
Yeah,
just like, I mean, we're talking about poaching earlier. That rhino horn's really worth nothing. Now, if you believe it's worth something medicinally, knock yourself out. But there are businessmen, let's say in a certain part of the world, that will buy the rhino horn and stick it on the middle of a table before a giant corporate meeting, and it's just known as this symbol of power. And that's why they did it. They don't care that fucking creature had it hacked off of it, had its horn hacked off in 45 seconds and was left there dying to bleed out in front of its little calf. Yeah. They don't care about the habitat that they're ruining that's not a part of their country or their continent, for that matter, by the way. But it's this thing. It's like, I have it, you don't. I am above you. Mm-hmm.
Status symbol.
Yes.
Now, I wonder, because these are highly educated people that are working in a complex office environment, finance. I'm wondering, just like the gold miners, if there's a way to appeal to their humanity, where if you took that guy from that board meeting, who knows, brought him out to the savannah, brought him out to Vetpaw, out to Buffalo Kloof, and showed him a dying mother rhino and said, do you still want the horn?
Yeah.
50-50.
They don't have to see it. Just like if I went and bought this wood from the Amazon, which you told me today, I didn't, so I feel better about myself. But if I bought this wood from the Amazon, I didn't have to stand there while they cut it down. I didn't have to watch all the animals die. I go to Home Depot, it says $25 for a piece of wood. Let's fucking go. Let's build a table. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that one's more evil because they know a creature was hacked to death to do that, right? So there's something different there. But there's other things that we take for granted, and I, myself included, in day-to-day life, that we're like, we don't stop to think, damn, I wonder where we got that and how we got that.
Oh, yeah. But that's, I mean, the classic one is everyone talks about where we get our cell phones from.
Oh, yeah.
The
fucking cobalt
mines and everything else. And then the other one I love is everyone, when I was in college, it was we need the electric car to save the environment. And then now we have the electric car. It's part of the car economy. But what are those batteries made out of? And where does that come from? And where does the power come from that goes into the electric cars? Oh, it's the same shit. We're using fossilized sunlight. We're still just like the trees in the Amazon. We're still just trying to get that sunlight.
We find a new way to be destructive, even when we think we're being less.
I do think that this is adolescence, though. I think this is a.
What do you mean?
I think it's that as a global society, we're going through a period of adolescence. There was like the dark ages, and then there's a renaissance. And then now we're going through this period where it's like, okay, humans are global. We can communicate with everybody. And notice we're exactly global at the time when human rights stuff, we're really starting to like the humans are starting to recognize that, oh, we're all the same. And there's a lot of people fighting to just make that a universal truth. Now, there's still pockets where that's not understood. But gradually humans are, because in the past, these are untouchables. These people are slaves. These people are that. Okay, but now we're coming to this new spot where humans are humans, okay? And now we're starting to realize, okay, wait, we actually depend on the ecosystems. If we have clean water, then we can have free fish. It comes standard with life on Earth. And it's like, if we can just, okay, so the Industrial Revolution, we were like, whoa, we have bicycles and we have motors and we have all this stuff and we could shoot at each other. And it's like, we just discovered a bunch of really cool stuff. And I feel like right now what's happening is people are buckling down and going, wait, how do we maintain a world where we can continue to have awesome medical care and planes and entertainment and all this amazing stuff that we have now, but just not kill the living world around us? It's a pretty good deal. You get to have everything in modern society, but you just got to let the earth continue to provide for you. It's really not a bad deal.
But you got to show people what the cost is.
It comes down to education. It comes down to connecting to people on that human level. It comes down to guys like Dax who are at the top of the finance game going, okay, we're going to push these projects that so badly need that support that never had it to the next level. And then it comes down to guys like you being like, what are we going to spend our time talking about? We're going to entertain people with what? You know what I mean? Like we could be talking about the Kardashians right now. We're talking about ironwood trees and macaws, and it's like, and people will tune in and watch it. And it's like just the fact that people will come away from watching the Julian Dorey podcast going, I never knew that, or even just the idea that you could take a guy like a gold miner and just fucking be friends with them.
Yes.
Dude.
It's a human. That's the thing. I think most people want to do good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to point them in the right direction. And I'm so serious when I talk with you and Ryan about this all the time. I really want to do more with getting conversations on here with people who are around the world in different places doing important shit. Because one of my favorite things about you is you have such a realist view on stuff. You're not one of these guys saying drink your Hydro flasks and take your fucking shitty straws and that's going to save the turtles. You're out here going, all right, let's be realistic. Let's figure out how we can get people to want to be a part of things rather than take away things from people all the time. And that's those kinds of voices, because you know how it is sometimes. Sometimes you get people who may have the right intentions with conservation efforts, and they're like, we have to stop, we have to sell our houses, live in people aren't going to listen to that.
No.
But I want to bring through the people. I want to bring through the Paul Watsons of the world who've been there, on the front line. I want to bring through the Paul Rosolies of the world and the Ryan Tates of the world who are doing it. I want to talk with these people because also, let's call it what it is. At the end of the day, we sit down for a few hours. We do a podcast. It's probably going to end up being 2 today with how long we're talking. But I sit down with any of these people. The people who are listening, they also get entertainment out of it.
Yeah.
And when you mix entertainment with a good cause, great things happen. Period. End of story.
Yeah. I mean, in the last year, we've seen such an uptick. And again, for anybody that's just tuning in now or just hitting this as a clip, Jungle Keepers, the organization that I represent, that I founded with the local indigenous partners that I work with in the Amazon, our mission is to protect pristine forests that is filled with millions of endangered species, wild habitat, heartbeats. And this has actually been how we reach people. We tell stories on podcasts. We do interviews with, we like ABC News. But getting the message out, for every 100,000 people, 3 of them are going to go, you know what? Let's support that.
That's it.
And then you get 3 people, and some of those people are single moms who have 2 kids, and they go, you know what? I got a message from a mother. She said, I'm a single mother. I can't give you guys more than $5 a month, but I'm going to give you guys $5 a month because my kids love wildlife, and we love your Instagram. And I'm like, I'll try to curse less. I was like, shit.
Nah, you're fine.
Nah, I know.